It's the Tuck and Tuck Show, brought to you by The Arb at Tappan Square, Prestige Detailing, Oberlin Weekly, Now let's welcome the hosts of Tuck and Tuck Show, Ahmad and Khalid.
Hey, welcome back to the Tuck and Tuck Show. We are here with Chase Farris. We are talking about Save Our Children. And now we're going to talk a little football, man. Give us a little insight on your football career, how it got started. You were a standout at Elyria High.
Yes, sir.
And then went to Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to let you fill in the rest, man. How did you end up at Ohio State?
Man, how I ended up kind of the same way I ended up at Elyria, man. The crazy thing is this. Like, nobody knows. I wasn't even going to Elyria High my freshman year. I was getting ready to go to Southview.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow, that ain't even there no more.
Yeah, that's gone.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, these are stories. I got stories. So, look, the Coach Hamilton was my high school football coach. He was also my middle school gym teacher. So, once he got the head job at Elyria that summer, I started going to weightlifting a little bit. But after like the third week, I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. I'm about to go chill out. So like we had this like group. It wasn't even a group chat back then because we couldn't, like, we all had flip phones. So I mean, it's crazy we had flip phones back then. Literally, I get like 8 text messages in the morning. You going to football? You going to football? You going to football? Because we would work out on Thursdays. And at that time, the weight room was at Cascade Elementary School. Okay. I used to live like literally right down the street. Okay. So kids would literally say they're going to weightlifting and then come to my house in the morning and we'd just chill out. We'd chill out until weightlifting was over with and they'd go back home.
Oh, jeez.
So listen, so like I was one of them guys. So like I told somebody the other day, I said Chase Farris was not always Chase Farris. He had to be made into this.
Right.
So one day, one of my best friends at the time, Chucky, Charles Howard, rest in peace, Chucky. But he had came and got me. He had stayed with football the entire freshman year. First game comes up, and I'm like, man, it was back then when the games like started like 2 or 3 weeks before school started. So I'm like, he like, man, come to the game with me. I'm like, all right, I'll walk up there with you. Man, next thing I know, I leave with a Elyria Pioneers football jersey. I'm like, how this happen?
Recruited.
I'm like, man, how this happen? I'm like, and I get home and my open enrollment paper was in the mail that day. Like, you got accepted. I said, Mom, I can still go. She said, no. You already got the football jersey now. You got to stay at Elyria.
She probably wanted you to go to Elyria anyway, didn't she?
Man, probably. Yeah. I don't know.
Because if she didn't want you to go, she just put a
she would have still, yeah.
Like, no,
that whole thing was my choice. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to make some of this stuff work, but at that point in time, it made sense. But when you're a freshman, man, you really don't know you don't know.
No.
So fast forward to my freshman year, I only played 2 football games because I was still skipping practice.
That was varsity though, right? Or freshman ball?
I played 2 freshman games freshman year. I used to schedule, hey, Mom, can you schedule my doctor's appointment at 3:30 on Tuesday? Can you schedule my dentist appointment for 3:30 on Tuesday?
I got nothing to do.
So I can get there at, I'll get there at 4:45 while the hard work is done and I can just coast the rest of the day. Listen, I'm telling you, I played 2 games. My sophomore year, I started varsity.
Wow.
That's pretty.
So when you started, did you play defense or offense?
So I started off as a nose tackle on defense. It was more of a situation where they were just trying to get the best 4 on the field. Now I was a 6'5" nose guard, and I'm sitting like, the person I played next to was like 5'10".
Right.
So I'm like, I had no idea about pad level. I had no idea about explosion off the ball. I had none of this stuff. Like I didn't know about reads and trap blocks and all. I had no idea about any of that stuff. I was green. I was just out there like,
just run him over and get to the quarterback.
Listen, from my freshman year, I was 297. My sophomore year, I was 235.
Wow.
No, wait.
Wow.
You was 297 as a freshman?
Freshman.
In high school?
I was a couch potato.
Wow. You lost that much weight over the summer?
I sat in the basement all summer my freshman year eating tater chips and watching movies.
He was that big as a freshman.
Man, 6'2". I was like 6'1", probably like 6'1", 297. I remember 297 because I got my physical, and I'm like, man, I've never been this heavy.
That's big, man.
So then, like, the basketball coach and the football coach got together, and it was like, look, Chase has got football at this time, basketball at this time. So it was like, I had no wiggle room in that communication to say, oh yeah, I can't come to football because I got this, or basketball because I got that. Man, they pulled some type of Jedi mind trick on me, man. Next thing I know, I dropped 60 pounds. I came to school the next year, a whole new man. Everybody looking at me like, who are you and where's Chase at? Next year, didn't even know I ended up just turning up that next year. Started varsity for my second year in a row, then I started offense and defense. So I started playing both ways. That's when I got, my first scholarship offer came from like Duke. And I have no idea how that happened. They just called the school, got my transcripts, and sent me a scholarship offer.
Yeah, you had the size. See, once you have the size and some speed, then they're looking for you.
Yeah, and I had the grades. Like that at that time, I had probably like a 3.5.
That'll do it.
So you played with Tracy at Elyria, right?
Yeah, he's 2 years younger than me. Yep.
So but y'all was on the line at the same time?
We played. So when I was there, he was an offensive lineman.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That much talent on the field at the same time.
Yeah. So we had our offensive line was big. We were all probably like 6'2", 6'3", and up. You know what I mean? 250. You know what I mean? For a high school offensive line, you
big.
like, man, you got some guys out there.
So when you got to be recruited, who recruited you? Because you left. Did you come to Ohio State right when Tressel was leaving and Meyer just got there? How did that work out?
Let me tell you this. So this is wild. So my junior year, like when you were a junior, the coach would come and talk to you at the school. No, was it junior or senior year? Might have been my senior year. The coach would come talk to you at the school, visit with your teachers, walk around with you, you know what I mean, whatever. Basically like let me see how you act in your own environment type deal. So Coach Tressel pulls up with my recruiting coach, Coach Tabor Johnson. I, for some reason, don't know what I was thinking. I introduced him to all my junior year teachers. It's my senior year. So the next day when I came back to school, all the teachers like, hey, I heard Coach Tressel was here. And I'm like, yeah, he was. I wonder why he was here. They're like, yeah, I heard a couple of teachers got to meet him. I'm like, yeah, they did. And I'm like, why did I not invite? I didn't like. So all my senior year teachers was mad at me because they didn't get to. So I'm there like, man, I made it all hard. I made it harder on myself, man. But as he was going, like I was literally his last recruiting class, right? And then the whole tattoo gate thing happened, and the suspensions and all that stuff. And he took it on the chin, and for a lot of players, and just said, I'll bite the bullet and dip out, but. That whole next year was the fickle year where it was just like he just took over.
Yeah, we forget about that year.
Yeah. Man, it was worse than Ohio State football history. But the next year we went undefeated with Coach Meyer, and after that, I think we lost, 4 games in 5 years?
2 years. I thought it was like 2 years. Oh, that's right.
No, we only lost one game a year.
The national championship.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
We lost 4 games in 4 years.
So how was he as a coach, Urban Meyer? I mean, because
he didn't really coach, did he?
Yeah, I mean, you had your own line coach.
He was
I'm
a little
sure.
psycho
most
too.
of the time.
He's definitely more of a mental guy, like a trying to figure out your mentality. How you move, how you think, and that's his deal.
He has a degree in psychology. Though.
Exactly. He's one of those guys. So it's like when you have a group of 18 to 23-year-old young men. Who probably 75% of them, 75 to 80% come from a single parent home. They're looking for that, like you said earlier, like some kids are looking for that father figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, some kids are hard enough to be like, hey, I'm not looking for that father figure. I just need the guidance to get to where I want to go.
Right.
So for him, that psychology, that's his livelihood, man.
Right.
Playing Jedi mind tricks on you guys.
Telling you.
Trying to anyway.
Some of the best.
So I wonder if that's why he didn't make it in the league though, because once you're in the league, you can't run out on me. I'm already getting a check, bro.
It doesn't translate.
I'm already where I need to be. You can't. What you gonna do to me?
Yeah, when you see that, and that's the difference. Like I said, in college, it's 18 to 23-year-old young men. When you in the league, you got some kids, some not kids anymore.
They
These
grown men.
They got
With
kids.
families,
Like these grown men with kids.
They trying
like,
to keep a job.
Like they sitting there making $40 million a year.
Yeah.
Like what you can't talk to them any type of way. Like so it's different. You got to come different.
Yeah, that was a big problem for him.
So we're gonna take a break because
sure.
the next segment is gonna be a little longer too.
Okay.
We'll take a break now, and then we'll come back.
Welcome back to the Tuck and Tuck Show. Today's guest is brought to you by the Arb at Tappan Square.
All right, we're back again on the Tuck and Tuck Show, and we're back with Chase Farris. And what I've been wanting to ask you, man, now you got to the league, and then you go to the Patriots.
Yes.
And what's it like playing for Bill Belichick?
Man, what you see is what you get.
But he's so bland when I see him. He talks like that all the time.
Man, I'm telling you, like, you don't know when to laugh and when not to laugh sometimes. It's crazy. Like, he'll tell a joke, and then everybody will sit there quiet.
He'll smile.
And then he'll crack a little smile, and then everybody just bust out laughing because they don't know if he's serious or not.
Right.
Man, it's crazy. But like I said, he's just a great coach. Like being at Ohio State, like I learned a lot developmental wise as far as like body movements and things like that. But like getting to the NFL is like where I learned the game. Like at Ohio State, it was like you just stay in your box. Offensive line, you know this. You know what I mean? Wide receivers, you know that. Quarterback, you have to know everything. Running backs, you block with the O-line a little bit, but other than that. And at the Patriots, it's like, okay, we're going to tell you a play, and then you have to tell us what the play means for you, for the quarterback, for the receivers, where's the running back? Like, is there, you know what I mean? Like, you got to know the personnel, how many receivers, what's the formation? I'm like,
wow.
Whoa. But then it was one day, like, and our coach would give us, like, these little testers, like, when he would be teaching us, it was like my rookie year. Boom. Spring, it was like the spring, so it was like OTAs, and the coach was like, now in our meeting rooms, you can walk in the front or in the back. So if you're sitting back here, you don't know if anybody's behind you. So my coach was like, Chase, what does this mean? And then I was like, blah, 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 means gun empty right, 3 receivers over here, 1 over here, running backs here, we're looking for this, this, and this. If this happens, then blah, blah, blah. And it was like, up there, it's like, talk how we talk. So don't make up your own way to say this. You have to say it the way we say it.
In their language, yeah.
Exactly, so everybody communicates the exact same. And then he was like, that's exactly what I want to hear, Chase. Great job. And then he was like, you guys will get some water. And then I hear somebody behind me like, yeah, that's a real good job, Chase. And it's Belichick. Like standing behind me, and I'm like, oh, man, like, if I would have blew it.
Glad I didn't blow
I
that
said,
one.
man, if I would have blew it, I would have been out of here on the next play.
Yeah, that probably could happen. Man. So then you played with Tom Brady, too.
Man, first time, man, this is crazy. So remember when the whole, like, Deflategate thing happened, and he was suspended for those 4 games, right? I signed to New England week 4. So at the end of week 4, I signed. So week 5 was his first week back. But this is the type of guy Tom Brady was. He was doing practice reps and game reps. So he was doing the scout team and regular reps to make sure he was ready to play in that game versus Cleveland. Man, I get out there, literally, I signed my contract for 4 hours. I was a New England Patriot for 4 hours. They jogged me out there like, hey, Chase, I know you don't know the plays, but we're going to tell you who to block. Man, I get in the huddle. I just say, hey, bub, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Hey, bub. I look up, I'm like, oh, man, this is Tom Brady.
In the huddle.
Man, I'm like, man, this is Tom Brady. Like, I'm a fan right now. Like, all right, can't nobody touch Tom Brady. I was like, I don't care. I don't know what that play was that you just told me, but can't nobody touch Tom Brady. So I'm out there on the line yelling back like, hey, who do I block? They're like, get the guy to your right. They're like, get the guy to your right. I'm like, okay. I get my little stance, boom, block him, play over with. I'm saying like, man, I just blocked for Tom Brady. That was wild.
That was crazy.
I'm like, I really just blocked for Tom Brady.
I'm somebody.
Like, I'm like, man, I can't wait to tell the homies when I get out of practice today. I'm telling all the homies, hey, bro, guess who I saw in practice today? Tom Brady.
So you're blocking for Brady. Now, on the other side, who's some of the toughest guys you ever went up against?
Man, the toughest,
like, who did you just hate to see?
Man, Joey Bosa in practice. What you talking about?
That's right. You did play that.
Man, listen here. Yeah. Like, Joey bosa had at Ohio State, man, everything is on one in practice, man. Everybody know the snap count. Man, set hit. We going. Like, we just bigger and faster and stronger than everybody else who plays, so it don't matter. So set hit, we're going.
Wow.
So when you say set, Joey Bosa is taking off before the hit. Like, I'm saying, like, man, Joey Bosa, Tyquan Lewis, Noah Spence. Noah Spence was a guy that came into college. He was running like a 4.5 or like a 4.3 40 as a defensive lineman. He was like 235, 245. He getting this wide 9 stance, and I'm sitting here like, bro, I'm not coming all the way out there.
He ended up going to like Northern Kentucky or something, didn't he?
Yeah, it was last year, and then ended up playing for Tampa Bay for a while, and I think it was the Bengals for a little bit too.
Right. I remember him. I remember how good he was coming out. But when you're at Ohio State, it's just minor league football.
Pro football.
It's just semi-pro basically.
But I tell you what, getting to the league and actually having a different snap count, man, it helps so much.
Well, there's so many more games they play, especially Brady, because he's going to know. He's going to try to use every trick in the book. Because like what Ray Lewis once said, the reason why it's so hard to stop Brady is because he's at this level. And he said, and when I played, I was at his level. But when I retired, these young cats, he can play with them any kind of way he wants. They don't know all the games he's playing. Mm-hmm. He says, so you got to be at the same maturity level and you still have to have your same physical ability.
Yes. He
said, now once all the guys that know everything, they're going to phase themselves out.
They're going to lose a step.
Yeah, they're going to lose a step. So then he's playing against kids, basically. So that's what made it so easy for him.
Exactly.
But, I mean, that got to be something that, like you said, tell your grandkids about. Like, man, I played with Tom Brady. I played with this dude, that
with
dude.
With Brady, it's like he knows, like he knew that playbook like the back of his hand.
Right.
So when he's playing, it's like, okay, I know my first read, my second read, and my third read. Like, if I got to get to my fourth read, I'm going to do it in like 3 seconds. He could literally look left, look right, boom, all right, I know where I'm going.
Because he's seen everything so many times.
He was only holding the ball for like, I think the average block time for him was like 3.6 seconds.
So that made your job a lot easier,
the average play time is 4 to 6 seconds.
Yeah.
4 to 6 seconds. If he getting rid of it in 3.6, and I'm sitting here like we got a snap count that got the defensive line paralyzed. Like I ain't even had to do much for real. Just get out my stance and touch somebody.
Yeah, so I think he's about done though. I think his career's about over.
Well, man,
yeah, I think
who knows?
He's retired.
I saw he made an Instagram post this time, so
he's got a podcast too.
You know what's crazy? Out of all the stuff he done went through all this, and then he gets divorced, and that's the thing that kind of like ends everything for him. Because that mental, it wasn't there.
It has to be a lot, man. Like you think about, you done been through all this stuff with a person, and then now it's over. The end of the road, and it's like, man. Like I known football for so long, so now what's next?
Yeah. What's next? So you doing that, and that's pretty much it for you're gonna do Save Our Children, and that's it. Man, or you got some bigger goals.
I'm always looking for, for growth. Okay. I feel like we can never settle. I feel like my generation that I grew up in, like we're hungry. To continue to improve. We're lifelong learners. So for me, I got my bachelor's in financial services, my master's in sports management. Right now, I'm looking to go back to school and get my doctorate in educational leadership.
Awesome. That's great. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. So the last couple of weeks I had like you on, the mayor, Lil Hen, my son. You guys are all in the same age group.
Right.
So I'm an older dude. I'm kind of cynical sometimes, but that kind of lets me know you guys are kind of on the ball, man. You know what's going on around here.
Yeah, we're
way
at the
more
point,
than when I was that age.
Listen, we're at the point where it's like, give us our flowers or we're gonna take them.
We're gonna take them,
and that's how we live.
That's the
You can put
mentality
that on a T-shirt.
That's the mentality you gotta have.
Yeah, that's
need
a
my
great
piece.
mentality.
I need my piece on the T-shirt.
Everybody wants to work for themselves too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to work for somebody else anymore.
But even within, it's like, okay, everybody wants to work for themselves, but you gotta realize at the end of the day, it's a lot that go into that you don't really see.
Working for yourself is way harder than working for somebody else.
Yeah,
It's way harder.
It never stops.
It never stops. So, with that being said, you got social media stuff you can put out for people to see.
Man, listen.
You gotta let everybody know what you're on because I won't remember any of it.
On Instagram, C_Farris57. For Save Our Children, we're on Instagram at _SOC Elyria. We got a Facebook, same thing, SOC Elyria. If you want to check us out, SOCElyria.com is the website. We also have LinkedIn. You know, we got a lot of different things going on, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about the kids. So,
hey man, I think that's an awesome thing you're doing for the kids of Elyria.
And you also take donations, right?
oh yes, we take donations.
So-
We take Venmo. We take PayPal. We take PayPal. We take checks, cash. And we take any form of payment that you have. We take it.
So if you're out there and you live in Elyria or the surrounding areas and you want to help this program, help them out because you
It's
got
a
to help
good
the kids.
program.
You have to help the children, and I know you are doing a good job along with Mayor Whitfield.
Yes,
so I know
yes.
he's up for re-election coming up. So
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if I hear a lot of different things from Elyria. We don't live in Elyria, but hopefully he can get reelected.
Right.
Because he seemed like a very nice person when he came on the show.
Yeah, he's a man of the people.
Yeah, he was very
You know what
good.
I mean?
So,
Grew up south side of Elyria, man. He's a man of the people.
yeah,
I mean, he understands our struggles. So,
yeah, you got to help him get reelected then.
man, it's my guy.
All right. Well, that's it. And we're going to do Prestige Detailing, Oberlin Weekly, and the ARB.
The ARB.
And if you're out there and you want some T-shirts, we got Tuck and Tuck T-shirt. This is my own special T-shirt. This is my brother comes on and says, yo, 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 what's up, Oberlin? Every week. So we made a shirt out of it. Matt is not in the T-shirt business. He will not make you a
specialized T-shirt.
He won't do it. But if you want a Tuck and Tuck T-shirt, you know, what's our platform? Oh, tuckandtuck.com. Yeah, tuckandtuck.com.
He just said it, didn't he?
Just go to the Facebook page. We'll hook you up. We'll take care of you. But I mean, these gonna look real good in the summer. I'm probably gonna cut my sleeves off, have my guns out.
I'd like to thank our guest, Chase Farris, for coming out, man. Thanks for spending some time with us.
What'd you call him?
Chase
Farris. So all I can say is Space Paris.
I thought he said Chase Paris. I said, look, that used to be my Instagram. That used to be my MySpace page name back in.
What you call him? Space Paris.
Yeah, Chase Paris.
I did just wake up, man. You know, and we don't
like to think I guess Space Paris. Like Space Paris, his name is Chase Paris.
Right.
I was sitting here listening to you guys' conversation so long, man. I kind of got into the conversation. Forgot where I was at. I spaced out.
Yeah, Space Paris.
Chase Farris.
Thanks again, Chase. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
And we'll see you at the ARB. And then the one chip challenge is coming up. So this is nothing to me, people. This is the cameras over here. This is nothing. So if you want to see me, I know there's a lot of people out here that don't like me. If you want to see me suffer with eating this chip, come on out. But you got to buy a T-shirt to watch the show. That's what we're gonna do. Watch. There got to be at least 20 T-shirts sold before I eat this chip. So if y'all want to see me eat this chip, buy a T-shirt. Because if y'all don't sell, buy 20 T-shirts.
Now you sound like you're trying to get out of eating that chip.
I want to sell some shirts. Chip ain't nothing. I ain't scared of that little chip, bro. Come on, it's a chip. Come on, that ain't nothing to me. So if you want to see it, come on out. The last show, and we might have do some live call-ins. We might do some live call-ins.
Yeah.